Oh man, which altcoins can 5x as soon as 2024? We've got the mood here on crypto switching as we speak. BlackRock filing their spot ETF XRP, beating the SEC mayoral candidates, speaking positively about Bitcoin, presidential candidates speaking positively about Bitcoin. The mood is shifting and we are heading towards the Bitcoin halving next year, and it's time to set ourselves up right in the correct altcoins. I'm going to share with you 5 altcoins that I personally believe can 5x as soon as next year, and 1 in 4 are going to surprise you. So let's kick things straight off. The first one I'm going to share with you is Solana. Yep, Solana. And this is a controversial one because my conviction on Solana has yo-yoed quite a bit here. If you guys know, I was very early into Solana. I managed to get a low-cost basis on Solana, rode the project through, and even before the Sam Bankman-Fried collapse, I still started losing trust in Solana, mainly due to the downtime, right? I made numerous videos here pointing out these red downtime periods, and it did not sit right with me on Solana. I thought there were some fundamental flaws which were a cause for concern. But whenever a project goes through difficulty, you learn something about that project. You learn, how do they learn from their mistakes? How do they adapt? What are their resilience areas? And that's one thing we've got to give credit to the Solana community. The Solana community has held resolute. The team have continued to develop, have continued to build. And if you fast forward this status page to now, it's much better, right? Like, I mean, still they had one bit of downtime. I think they showed it here in February. They had 18 hours of downtime. But since then, you know, touch wood, you can see here they've managed to stay operationally okay. Now, I know that is not the standard to hold your project to, but it's progress here on Solana. If you also look at the crypto fees, you can see they still generate a decent amount of fees here on Solana, around that kind of $47,000 mark per day, which is quite impressive here on Solana. So there's still activity, they've shown resilience, and they've not had their downtime. So that's one cheeky project that could 5x. And my other thesis around that, the final part of my conviction around that, is to say people have used Solana, right? People have used Solana, they're familiar with Solana, and therefore outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, the next kind of familiar area for many people in the crypto space is Solana. So sometimes people just default to what they're used to. Instead of trying a new layer 1 solution, sometimes they just go with the one they're used to. They've already got their wallet set up. It's still working. It's still cheap. It's still fast. They're probably just going to default back to that. So that's something we have to watch for going into 2024. The next project that could 5x here is, of course, the OG Ethereum, still topping the list here in fees, generating an impressive $3.6 million here in daily fees and averaging $5 million a day over the last 7 days. So clearly, by far, still the standout, still the OG, still where transactions are happening, despite some of the gas still being high. They've, of course, gone through ETH 2.0, which poses a little bit of a risk. Let's understand that and not make no qualms about it. That ETH going through ETH 2.0 has put them under regulatory risk, right? There's no clarity on where the SEC or the CFTC at the moment stand on ETH. And that causes a little bit of concern going into 2024. But the one positive you can ladder on top of that is that you are seeing the race of institutional adoption moving towards Ethereum. And this heavily reminds me of what happened with Bitcoin. You can see already that 6 applications have gone ahead already and been submitted for Ethereum futures ETF. Remember, this is not spot ETF, this is futures ETF, but still, it was the first step. Bitcoin went that same route before now trying to get their spot ETF approved, and this includes ProShares, Grayscale, Van Eck, Bitwise, some big institutional names here applying for the futures ETF. So again, a lot of adoption still to continue coming into Ethereum. The next altcoin that can 5x as soon as 2024 is Optimism. Yes, Optimism. I've made a few videos on Optimism over the last few months, and already you can see that people are actually building on this layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum. So Base, which is Coinbase's layer 2 solution, which doesn't have a token, is built on Optimism. Yes, you can see here on their website, it's built on Optimism. You can also see that WorldCoin completes their migration to the Optimism mainnet, and this is going to drive a lot of transaction volumes on the Optimism layer 2 scaling solution. So again, we know that as a whole, layer 2 scaling solutions are very, very hot right now. But on top of that, Optimism seems primed with a lot of partnerships with key people, right? WorldCoin is, of course, linked to Sam Altman, who's the founder of OpenAI and ChatGPT. Of course, Base is being headed up by Brian Armstrong over at Coinbase. So clearly they're in the right teams and in the right huddles, and Optimism could be one to watch. If you also come across to the fees, they're no joke in terms of their fees. They're already generating here $62,000 per day. So you can already see it's here up in the rankings, and definitely one to be watching moving into 2024. By the way, guys, if you want to take part in the BYBIT World Series of Trading, check out my link in the description, ijaz.uk/WSOT. You can win a Lamborghini, you can win Rolexes. There's up to $8 million here in total prize pool. They're not messing around on this one, guys. Click the link in the description, join my squad, and the more members we have, the greater chance we do well and get more of this prize pool. So check out that link in the description. Next up, in a similar vein to Optimism, we've got to go with Arbortrim as well. And I know this is heavily Ethereum stacked, but that is just the narrative I'm seeing right now. Loads of people before ETH 2.0 were saying, hey, you know, there's no need for layer 2 scaling solutions. We're going to go for ETH 2.0, won't need it. I continuously said that's not going to be the case, guys. Layer 2 solutions are here to stay. You've seen the rise in Matic, and Matic could have made this video as well, but they've already had a decent run-up. So I'm going to go with Optimism and Arbortrim here. So Arbortrim already, you can see here, delivering $81,000 a day. But what's more impressive, if you take a look at it, you can see already they're running at an annualized revenue of $115 million. They are generating serious cash, guys. And if you want a deeper dive on Arbortrim's fundamentals, I'm going to leave the links in the description up here to that video. But of course, make sure you take into account the tokenomics when you look at that as well. And last but not least, the final project I'm going to put into my 5 cryptos which could 5x in 2024 is going to be a controversial one. It's not even one I hold hugely, but I've got this hunch that XRP could be in for a shout to 5x. And if you guys know my content, you'll know that I rarely touch upon XRP. I don't do a deep dive into the fundamentals on the channel. I rarely talk about it because it was all binary. It was all roulette based on the XRP decision. But now that the XRP SEC decision has come through and the XRP came out with, albeit partial, but a victory, this now means that XRP is the only altcoin, yes, the only altcoin with some regulatory clarity, and that could hold it in very good stead going into 2024. Think about it. If you're an institution and you're looking to adopt XRP, you've got a far better route to do so with XRP than you do any other altcoin, including Ethereum. Because like I said earlier, ETH, now that it's gone for ETH 2.0 and it's moved from proof of work to proof of stake, has less regulatory clarity. There's no clear lines or directive or precedent about where people sit on the scale of Ethereum being a security or a commodity. Where with XRP, at least we have something in law and precedent. So that is one of the reasons why I'm going to put that as a bit of a red herring here, that XRP could indeed be a project that can 5x as soon as 2024. But that's going to need some serious flows of cash to do so. You already know that XRP is not sitting at a joke of a market cap. It's a big project. It'll take a lot to move the price, but it's possible. With the clarity it's got and with the money it can now attract, it could be huge. But this is a risky play. You guys know there's going to be appeals with the SEC. You know this call battle is going to keep going. Gary Gensler is just not going to let XRP win this one clearly, because he knows if XRP win, it could set the precedent for other altcoins, particularly the ones listed in the Binance and Coinbase lawsuits, to follow suit as well. So there you have it, guys. 5 tokens in for a shout to 5x as soon as 2024. Let me know if I've missed any. Obviously, I've missed something. This is not meant to be completely exclusive. These are just 5 tokens I wanted to talk about, which have the potential to do that as soon as 2024. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to go watch this video here where I break down how to take profits, because you may buy the right cryptos, but I've seen so many crypto investors hurt by their lack of ability to take profits, and I'll see you in the next one.